Hello and welcome back to THM. Now today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different and see how it goes. I'm going to be looking at one of the best rivalries, inter-team rivalries, and the most sour inter-team battle that you will ever see in the British touring cars. And that is Jason Plato versus Ivan Muller of 2001. But just before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and it really helped me out. Make sure you don't miss out on any single Btcc video that I'm going to make for you. So before we get into the rivalry and the key moments, I need to do a little bit of scene setting. 2001, of course, was the first season after the great super touring era of British touring cars. Now, there wasn't a lot of cars out there, and there wasn't any competition, to be honest. Peugeot were rubbish. Alfa Romeo were rubbish. Lexus were awful. And the only team which could put up a little bit of a fight, MG, didn't turn up to the last couple of meetings of the season. So for all intensive purposes, it was who was the quickest Vauxhall driver would win the championship. So the Vauxhall team effectively ran 4 cars, 2 of which won as full Vauxhall outfit, driven by Ivan Muller and Plato. And there's another team sponsored by Egg Motorsport, which Phil Bennett and James Thompson drove. So effectively, like I say, it's going to be who's the quickest Vauxhall wins the championship. And when you compare this with, you've got Ivan Muller, great driver, went on to win the championship, and Jason Plato, great driver, most winningest driver in the championship, is going to cause a little bit of ag throughout the season. So I'm going to fast forward to Donington Park, where it all starts kicking off between these two. Now, up until this point, as I said earlier, Vauxhall were absolutely dominant, and like I said, the top 4 standings, all Vauxhall drivers. So what I'm going to do is just shut up and let you watch a couple of clips from that particular race where it all started kicking off at Donington Park. Now, just remember that I know these guys are going for the title, but they're teammates and representing a manufacturer like Vauxhall. So just have a watch of this and see what you think.
Meantime, more teammates have played it. Muller and Plato's tagged him. Ivan Muller just gets hooked on the rear bumper. Plato through. There's a big left-hander coming now. And he lunges down the inside, side by side, gets it through, does he? Yes, he makes it. Get out of my way, maybe?
Well, I'm not quite sure what that signal was, unless they've got a little private code, but look at that.
Private code for excuse. Well, that's not private, that's a very public code by Jason Plato, who just clubs his way past the light. Must be having a ball.
Well, he's having a ball, but look at the 2 Vauxhall drivers.
They're having a dance of their own. Oh. On board with Plato, that's Ivan Muller ahead of us. The whole protagonist, a little bit of a headbutt there from Jason Plato, and he's muscled through. Has he? There's more contact.
This is real gloves off, wheel-to-wheel motor racing.
And it's working to James Thompson's favour as well. We saw him feint to the left, feint to the right. Yeah, I think he can actually...
So as you can see, that's just in the Donington Park meeting. So some very, very disrespectful driving, considering that they're teammates as well. Now, the season goes on, the Vauxhall boys are still cleaning up in terms of race victories, and the rivalry does deaden down a little bit. It's still there, but nowhere near as much as it was in that particular race. Then it gets to Silverstone, and oh my God, does it change. Let's get back into the action.
He's lost a little bit of momentum as Muller. Plato's along side by side. This is the drag downhill towards Abbey again. Side by side, Plato on the outside. Muller moves him wide this time.
Push. Plato certainly cut the lead down. You can see it's halved in the space. Well, what is it, a few laps? And Plato now putting Muller under real pressure.
Yeah, a bit of a wobble there for Muller after bridge. Left-hander. This is his opportunity. Contact though. Plato's through. Contact with Muller and Plato. Last lap. Muller's wounded as he stopped. Well, Muller is still running. Flying on a wing and a prayer. And Tom Boardman. Terrible, terrible stuff. Has not made it, but covered himself in glory on the day. Muller has limped across the line and got out of the car.
Well, you see him walking away, but the left...
This had a massive effect on the team. Now, just after the race, Jason got handed a 30-second time penalty for the incident, but he then goes on to say in his book that was released a few years ago, which if you haven't read that, I suggest you do, that there's actual graph evidence in that book that Muller ran out of fuel. So I don't know what he was doing fighting a position that hard if he's out of fuel. But anyway, at this point, the teams completely separate. It's not even worth calling them a team. They don't talk. There's no data shared. There is absolutely nothing. It is by all means Muller versus Plato. Now watch what happens at the very next meeting back at Donington Park.
For a start, green, and we're away. Plato on the left, Muller in the centre. Oh, start out as you mean to continue. There's the view from Ivan Muller's car. Plato all over us. What a double loop. That's the view from Muller's car ahead of us. Oops, terribly sorry. Muller just taps the back of Plato's car. Plato runs deep. Muller moves up the inside. Has he taken the spot? Yes, he has. The headbutt paid off. Up into Goddard's corner. Bennett leads. To the right-hand side of your screen, 2 red Vauxhalls. And look at that, Plato shoveling Muller from behind. Muller gets pushed deep. Side by side again. Now they're on the grass. Muller's on the grass. Plato's alongside him. Banging panels, touching panels. Oh, big hip and shoulder.
In true Btcc fashion, this rivalry went right down to the final race of the season, where it was Muller versus Plato at Brands Hatch. And effectively, whoever beat the other person will win the title. Now, Jason had made a mistake early on in the race, which put him way down the order. And Muller was leading up to this point.
Now, here's Muller. No, again. Ivan Muller for the second time has gone straight on. Look, out there, you can see right underneath there, that's a fire.
Yes, it is. Now, I just wonder.
Oh, crikey. Plato Muller's got a fire on the front of his car. Okay, I have fire in the car. I have fire in the car.
Well, there you go, the horrible. And he's pulling off what an ignominious way to end a fabulous championship.
So Jason had won the title, but unfortunately, Muller had taken the ultimate win. Jason was out of the drive for the 2002 season. Basically, the inter-team politics meant that it was impossible for Jason to work with Ivan again. Now, in that particular period of time, it was Vauxhall or no one, so Jason had to leave the sport. So that was a story of the most bitter inter-team rivalry in Btcc history. Let me know below what you thought of this video. If it's popular, I'll start doing some more. I certainly enjoyed researching it. Other than that, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.